Welcome back to day 4 of your week of possibility. I hope you've been enjoying the journey so far. And if you're not yet signed up, but you've been following us on socials or on the podcast and dipping in and out, I really want to encourage you to sign up today because day 5's training tomorrow will only be for those of you that are in the challenge and have signed up via the website. And I've got a real treat for you tomorrow. So do sign up at worldshapingleadership.com if you haven't yet and you're catching us on socials. So welcome back to day 4. This has been quite a journey, hasn't it? And I'm wondering how you're getting on and if you're seeing the impact of some of this thinking on your week, whether that is through concentrating more on your big rocks, through aligning more with who you authentically are, or whether you've been noticing your energy levels that we talked about yesterday. Today's training has 2 aspects of it, and I'm going to dive right into the first one. So, yesterday we were talking about energy mastery. Today, I want to concentrate specifically on surroundings by design, I've called it. So basically the environments and the people that you hang out in, that you spend your time in, and how they can influence the level of possibility and opportunities that you believe is out there for yourself. This is all about tapping into external ways to motivate ourselves and inspire ourselves. And I really believe that we can be living, enjoying the now, but also excited about what we're creating and where we're going. And that comes from being inspired and motivated by many different things, including where we are and who we are with. So, surroundings by design is really about tapping into where the next level version of you would be and what they would be doing. When I say next level version of you, what I mean is in that next season, in this next era, in this next stage, whether it's of impact or a completely new venture or adventure. If you were living in that, if you fast forwarded to that, that is your next level version of you. That's you, but in the future, living in that stage and that season. And so sometimes thinking about where that person, where that version of you gets their inspiration and their motivation, where they are and what they're doing, that can really help because we can automatically and very quickly then create those environments around ourselves now and therefore accelerate our progress towards that, but also inspire and motivate ourselves towards it. So I'm going to quickly go through 5 things you might want to think about when you're thinking about designing your surroundings strategically to be inspired and motivated. Number 1, groups and activities. What groups and activities would this next version of you do? What would they think of doing at the weekend? What community and group spaces might they be part of, or what activities would they have planned in that they're looking forward to? Secondly, who is it that inspires them? Who inspires you, and how can you hang out with them more? Thirdly, where physically are you most of your time? And with work, you might be in a profession where you can't change that environment, but you might be in a profession where you can make decisions about where you spend the hours that you work. And do those surroundings inspire and motivate you, or could you make changes that would mean you feel more inspired? Fourthly, I heard recently someone talking about your home being like a vision board. And I love that. if you have adventures or dreams of somewhere you might like to live or go, or things that inspire you intrinsically that we talked about on day 2 and 3, then one way of continuing to inspire yourself is to have those things up in your house, pictures or objects or things that when you look at them they motivate you because they remind you of those things that you enjoy and are aiming for. So your home like a vision board, number 4. And number 5, a really important one, is the digital spaces that we spend our time in and the social media that we consume. And of course, many of us are in professions where we have to closely follow the news or developments in our areas, so we consume a lot of information. But in terms of perhaps your social media or the things that just appear when you open your phone, how could you curate that a bit more purposefully so that it is material or prompts or quotes or anything that just inspires and motivates you and lifts you up? And spending a little bit of time on that is so worth your while in terms of the impact it can have and the surroundings that you are putting yourself in. So that's the first concept for today, surroundings by design. And I really hope that there are just a few tweaks that you can make to your surroundings that mean you come away more inspired. Before I go on to the second concept for today, I just want to quickly share with you something for those of you that if you following this week or in general in terms of where you've just come from in your last season, if you are thinking about wanting a bigger transformation, a step change, or a spring pad to leap off from, and you are ready to make an investment into that, then I want to share my one-to-one coaching package that I'm currently offering. It's a 3-month package and it's called Wonderful World, Wonderful Life. And this is really for accomplished professionals, so people that have invested before in their level of skills, what they've achieved, what they've done, but are really ready for that next venture or a shift in impact to be really legacy defining impact, or a complete lifestyle redesign. I have combined the work that I've done with national leaders and with not-for-profit leaders, as well as coaching qualifications I hold. And I've developed a unique methodology that is crafted around 3 invitations. And the 3 invitations are to realign, the invitation to realign, the invitation to reimagine, and the invitation to re-energize. And I've created a really exciting 3-month personalized package, which involves individual breakthrough sessions all around moving out the way the things that are holding you back from your next stage and getting really clear on what those things are that you are aiming for and working towards. Then there's a fantastic bit in the middle that is personalized challenges or boot camps that really inspire action. So it's quick inspired action that that we craft together and you're held accountable for, so that you can move very deliberately into this next stage. No holding back and no coming out of the program with a ton of things to implement you never get round to. It's baked into the program. And then the third stage is joining a group retreat, day retreat in Paris, which is really about expanding your horizons, your level of energy, and your plan for how you move forward. I'm Really excited to offer this to a new set of people. And if you're interested, just go to worldshapingleadership.com/coaching and you can read more about the package and you can see what the next steps are on that. So back to the concept, the second concept for today. And this one, as you may have seen in your planner, is about rest and relaxation. And I'm sure you might be feeling after this challenge like you need some of that. But of course, we all need some of that within our weeks. And I'm just going to cover a few points about rest that are really important for us as we think about rest and relaxation in our weekly schedule. So, the first one is recognizing the difference between restorative rest and simply rest that actually we get to the end of it but we're still feeling quite drained and quite tired. And you'll know that the activities that feel restful to you but also feel restorative, and that's a really good thing to be thinking about with the planner. I also just want to flag that some activities can be the same activity, but we can do it in a way that really restores us or a way that doesn't. And I think sitting down to watch TV is a really good one of that. We can do it where we just turn up, rock up, put the TV on, watch something not very interesting, and our state is low energy and we're not motivated at all when we finish that period. Or we can be very intentional about what we're watching, how we're watching it. Are we having a snack in the middle that feels like a treat, feels like a celebration at the end of the day? And so that is really important. Which activities do we do when we need to rest? And are they done in a way that is purposeful and therefore we really end them feeling rested and ready for something new? Secondly, I want to highlight that rest is a really important transition state from when we are in a place where we are very adrenaline filled. And I mean, ideally, we're not living in that state all the time. And ideally, that just comes every so often, as it does, stress or adrenaline fueled activity. But when we've been in that state for a bit, we cannot transition straight into being inspired and motivated and creative. It's just not possible for our bodies to do that. And we have to use rest as a way to transition through to that. So if you found yourself in a period just recently where you have been using adrenaline a lot to get yourself from one thing to another, and you're really in this high adrenaline state of productivity but also of action, and quite tense, then you can really use rest as a stage to transition through to get towards this space of inspiration and motivation that we've been talking about earlier today. So the importance of rest as a transition. I've just got two other things to say about rest. I had some really, really useful advice given to me when I had come out of a period of extreme busyness and having to achieve things. And the person said to me, slow down slowly. This was my coach, actually. And I'm a big believer in investing in coaching for that extra level of wisdom in your next steps. But she said, slow down slowly. And I really appreciated that. And I want to offer that as just some advice for anybody that is feeling like they need to transition to something new because it has been so intense. Just use that so that you're very kind to yourself as you try to do that. And I know that you will be able to make it to the other side. And then lastly, I love the idea of rituals or habits that signify to ourselves that we are transitioning into a restful and restorative time. So that can be, these are tiny things, but they can simply be a certain time in the evening when we say, okay, we're moving out of the productive and the to-do time. Some people do like symbolic things, so if they're like having a bath, or they might light a candle, or some people just simply think to themselves, okay, deep breath to shake myself out, I'm now going into restful time. What is it that you could do that signifies to yourself you are transitioning into rest? Put down the phone, try to remove the to-do list from your head, and really let yourself relax and enjoy yourself for this period of time. That means you leave the other side in a more calm, peaceful, inspired and motivated state. So that's the training for today. I hope you got some wisdom and advice on tips and inspiration somewhere in that. And that's the case with this challenge the whole way through, is that, as we said on day 2, we are each unique and individual. We have to do our own work on these topics. And when we do that, even in a few moments of reflection, even over a cup of tea, or quickly picking up that planner, then you easily do find your breakthroughs and find your own way of using these techniques and tools to go into your next season and transform, as we've said, ordinary weeks into extraordinary results. So join me back here tomorrow for the training that is only for those of you that have been doing the challenge. I've got a really beautiful concept I want to share with you. There's like a treat baked within it, and we are just going to end the week off on a real high note to set us up for more weeks like the ones that we've been talking about. Take care. See you tomorrow.